Question number one. How would you clean up the trash in our rivers and on the riverbanks from the fishermen?
Over the last couple of years, one of the things that me and my children see more than anything when we go to the river is a lot of trash. If you go up here to Pine Grove Beach, you don't have just trash, you have a lot of broken glass, you have a lot of dirty needles. We need to start setting up some receptacles, some things up at those swimming holes, especially the popular ones. A lot of times what we see on the riverbanks is a lot of dead fish, a lot of loose bait laid around from the fishermen that come up and fish on the rivers. We see a lot of hooks and lures and everything in the trees so what I like to do, we used to have a youth conservation corps back when I was a teenager. And what we would do is we would take those youth and every summer we would do just that. Go into the woods and we would clean up all of the rivers, all of the headwaters, all the way down to the Yellowhill and Lufton. And so that was something that I would like to propose as principal chief, is to start doing those summer projects such as the youth conservation corps. There's also the job training placement program. Remember the OJTBA programs, the OCEDA programs, the certified employment training opportunities. So that's what I would like to see back, because what we're finding when you look at our river, you notice that we also had a chemical spill. We had a diesel spill. And if any of you have been watching anything on the news in the last couple of days since Sunday, you've seen what happened in Colorado. Folks, that's going to the damnation. And like I was telling my children the other day, look around us. Look around us. There's a group of the in the the northeast side of Arizona that have no water. Have you guys seen that report? There's a lady that drives through every week and she delivers water to the communities. They only get 7 gallons a week. 7 gallons a week. Look at us here. We need to start really protecting our natural resources. We need to really start looking at what it's going to take, not just for us in the present, but we're looking down 7 generations. I am a 7th generation, and each one of you are. And those of us that are over 50 years old can go back to the days when we were up and down these rivers, whether it was here, whether it was in Snowbird, whether it was wherever we were at. But now we can't even hardly go and have a good time on our rivers because of the trash, because of the hooks, the glass. So that's what I propose as principal chief, is to begin those summer youth conservation corps programs again, and let's start getting our kids tapped in at a young age, starting at 12, to start looking at how we can bring that youth conservation to start looking at the protection of our rivers. Thank you.
Thank you. Jenny? Around 10 million travelers enter Yellowhill community from the national park. How would you improve the aesthetics of our community to improve that first impression impact?
You say aesthetics?
Aesthetics.
Of the community?
Yes, sir.
I think that's something that the tribe has already has started doing, is they've appropriated money for the streetscape coming down from Boundary Tree there all the way down to town. So that's one of the things that's already been implemented. One of the things I'd like to see is making sure that the contractors that we've got in place that are assigned to different sections of that all the way down to there, I hope that somebody is in charge of making sure that they follow through with their contracts. I know that there's several individuals that own they're entrepreneurial, they've got their own companies that go out and they're in charge of weed eating, they're in charge of pulling the weeds and stuff out, making sure that the flowers look good out there. Just beautification. I know that the money is there, and it's a matter of somebody following through and making sure that they keep it up coming through to them. Thank you.
Thank you. This question will be for both of them. How would you improve inefficiencies
emphasized on the administrative law and policies and procedures for elected appointed and tribal officials. One of the things that in our research, and there's been several of us that have looked at all the past and current governing documents as well as ordinances, which allows us to see what kind of power and authority does the principal chief and the vice chief has as the executive branch of office. And right now, the only thing that I can say as the executive branch of office is that the principal chief oversees the day-to-day operations of the tribe. That means that the principal chief will go and make sure that all the programs are running consistent with tribal law, tribal policies and procedures, and tribal duties and responsibilities to those positions. That's all the chief should do. But more than anything else, when we look at what has happened in past administrations, is that we're going to have a principal chief, number one, that knows how to be able to sit and talk with the individual members of the tribe that are employed here. We have to be able to start having mutual respect for one another, first and foremost, in that you are there to work for the betterment of this tribe, first and foremost. Those of us that are sitting here want your vote, because we all feel a passion that we want to provide some type of leadership to you. But once they get into there, what happens? I've seen it in the last 25 years. I've come before many chiefs, and I've always asked them that. As your principal chief, I know that one of the things that we have lost contact more than anything else is a principal chief coming to be the voice of the people. We talk about 3 branches of government, folks. There are 4 branches of our government within the Cherokee system. That's your Grand Council of the People. I don't know why that is a scary thing when you call the Grand Council of the People. That means all of our people come together. That's all it means. We've done it many times. Prior to the 2012 alcohol referendum vote, we had over 400 people down at the council house who came together because we had one concern, one issue, and that was the future of this tribe. And that referendum vote did not pass. These are some of the things that is my hope as your next principal chief, is that we have someone in that position that does care, does love their people. I've been there, folks. I've been walking through the struggles and the things of my people in the last couple of years, not by my choice. Creator put me there. 2 weeks prior to my mastectomy, I had to date and go without my husband. He died of a massive heart attack, so I had to raise my 3 children by myself. But never once did I feel defeat because I was raised that way. Because that's who our people are. We've had chiefs that have walked back and forth across this land with their people. And I've been walking with my people in the last 10 years. Like I said, I know what it's like to go through that hospital. I know what it's like to go through housing. I know what it's like to sit there and wonder if you're going to have your electricity put on before Easter. I've been there, folks. But I'm standing here today to tell you that by the grace of God and family and friends, I was able to raise 3 children. My son's in college now. But as your principal chief, that's what they asked me. They said, Mom, what does the principal chief do? And I said, well, just like I do for your mom, the principal chief should make sure, number one, that her people are what? Have a good home, that they're healthy, that they're educated, that they're happy. That's what a good mother, a good father would do for their children. And folks, as principal chief, all it takes is someone in that position that can have that understanding of the needs of our people. And that's how the people need to start being able to hold our principal chief and accountable. So one thing I would like to do is give you that referendum vote for a right to recall if council fails to impeach. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead and repeat the question. How would you improve inefficiencies within the executive office?
I definitely think there's a lot of room for improvement for everything that goes on within our tribe. One thing I believe, and I agree with a lot of things that Missy said, there's a lot of things that needs to happen for our people. I feel a second chance, an opportunity. Everybody's got families, they got to feed. A lot of times, a lot of our people get looked over because of something that's happened in the past or whatever. The chief has to look, you know, he's there for the people. He's there to try to help. And Missy knows as well as I do. She's been in there to talk to the chief about different situations. The chief needs to make sure that he is available to the folks whenever they come in there to speak to him. As a chief, me, as being the chief with them, with you all, it may, the problem you bring to us may not seem big to us, but it's a big problem to you, or you wouldn't be in there. So we need to make sure that you feel good when you come in there to talk to us. You know, I'm not going to brush anybody away. I'm going to treat you the way that I want to be treated, with respect and dignity. So that's, you know, not just that, but also, you know, day-to-day operations. The chief does need to be out there looking and seeing what these jobs are going on, visiting with the employees out there instead of staying in the office all the time. There should be time set aside to get out and look at all these different projects going on, checking on the communities, you know, overseeing the whole reservation. He just the chief and vice chief aren't just over day-to-day operations. They're the leaders of the tribe. And that's what we should be doing as the leaders is out there with our people, making sure that they've got the equipment that they need to do their job. They need to make sure that they've got the safety equipment out there to ensure that our employees are safe. That's all part of the job. Besides sitting and listening to the public when they come in and have issues that you need to address. Every day there's people who comes in there and needs help, whether it be, you know, having issues with their water, or having issues with their electricity, having issues with their sewer. You got senior citizens that needs help with their homes and stuff. So people needing homes. That's what the chief and the vice chief's responsibility is to help ensure that they try to help take care of the people. So as far as I'm concerned, that's what, you know, helping to change some of the efficiencies and making sure that you're available to help out the people. Thank you.
Thank you. Miss, do you support medical marijuana as agriculture?
Well, yes, I do. Good. Over the past 10 years, like I said, I have been suffering from breast cancer, carcinoma cancer. My daddy had carcinoma cancer. And when it came down to them telling him the only thing, the option that he had was chemotherapy or not, he asked us. And then he asked me about marijuana. And my sister said over here, she said, that'll make you crazy. And I said, well, it won't make her crazy, Dad, but let me tell you what it did for me. You know, we just kind of teased my dad as we were growing up. We have to start looking at, number one, when you talk about agriculture. That's a twofold question. Are we going to grow marijuana for just medical? Or are we going to grow marijuana for medical and recreation? But since I've already put my answer to that question right there is yes, that I do support medical marijuana. That would be, again, something that would be a vote of our people. The Menominee tribe are seeing that right now. And I wish I had known that this question was going to be asked because I would have brought that paper with me. A friend of mine who was Menominee received a packet in the mail that was basically asking them if they would consider a referendum vote of the people. And it had the different regulations, if it did pass, how it would be controlled by the entity of the tribe, like a distribution, kind of like how your alcohol is distributed. That would be how your medical marijuana would be, or your recreation, excuse me. On the medical side, we're looking at our hospital. And how do we look at implementing, like Richie said, the oil? If any of you had seen Sanjay Gupta's report on CNN, the Israel people in Israel are the leaders in medical marijuana. There's one little girl, they call this plant Charlotte Red because she did have seizures. And that they found that one chemical in that one plant that they extracted the oil. She was having a seizure every minute for 24 hours a day. Once she took 2 drops of that medical marijuana oil, she did not have a seizure for another 7 hours. This family lives in a state where they don't have medical marijuana. The only place at that time was California, and they were in the East Coast. So they were having to make a decision because of their child. Now put yourself in their position. If there was one thing out there that saved your child from pain, agony, and destruction, would you want to go and find that? And that's what we're seeing. But that would be something that the people, just like anything else, when we look at these major issues like that, would have to decide in a referendum vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Same question, Jim. Do you support medical marijuana as agriculture?
As agriculture,
As agriculture.
I think it was took around different, but anyway, I don't support it, and the reason I don't is because that it's against the law right now on the reservation. And one of the things that I look at is I look at Colorado passing for recreational use, and got medicinal purposes there too, along with California, Washington State, Portland, Oregon. Those tribes out west, they have done that. And I've listened to those stories like Missy has, and I understand that it has helped some people medically. But one of the biggest things that's happening out there is people getting robbed and they're getting killed because it's being grown on reservations. It's being grown in those states out there for them. So knowing right now how the drug situation is here on the reservation, talking about legalized drugs from the hospital and stuff, that's one of our biggest downfalls right now. And that's legal. It's being abused. So if you stop and think about what's going to happen if they was to let our people grow marijuana here and then start, that's going to get out, people's going to start selling that out here. So then we're going to, in turn, we're going to be known as one of the pot capitals of the world because we're allowed not to do that. We have a lot of breaking and enterings and stuff like that that's happening to each and every attendant, each and every enrolled member here probably, or one of their family members. So you talk about the people that's going to flock to Cherokee, North Carolina to smoke a joint, to be on our Indian lands and trash in our place, then that's what's going to happen. That's my comment. Thank you.
Okay. Same question will be for both of us. How do you plan to protect tribal sovereignty with recent Supreme Court decisions made on same-sex marriage?
The people have to protect our sovereignty. When it comes to the issue of same-sex marriage, I have to sit here and tell you a story that my mom told me. While we were raised and everything, we told the Christian way that was a sin. But my mama said, you know what? Everybody falls short of the glory of God, and everybody's a sinner. But Jesus came, and he brought unconditional love. And I'm not supposed to judge people, I'm not supposed to look at people. But I have relatives who are lesbian, I have relatives who are homosexual. And I love my relatives. I love them with all my heart. And it hurts my feelings when we have people of faith that say that they love God and Jesus, but they will not shake the hand of a gay or lesbian man. That's a personal choice and decision. That's not mine. But I have to respect that. Just like I would hope someone would respect me and whomever I choose or feel to be comfortable and be in love with. Mind you, I'm sleepy on one man, one woman for me, but you know, everybody else has their own. That's a personal choice. And I feel that when we start pointing our fingers at and putting laws against personal issues, we're going to be in a world of trouble. If you really look at native peoples from here all across the United States, they had something called two spirits. And they were your homosexual people. And they were actually revered in their tribe as someone who actually named some of the babies in their tribe. So when it comes down to same-sex marriage, right now tribal law says that it's one man, one woman. And until the people can come forward, I feel the need of it. That's a referendum vote of the people. And that is something that I would allow you guys to decide. But that's, I'm in support of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
My feeling, I understand the question. My feelings, I'm a Christian, and to me, it's the way that I was brought up and the way my heart is it's one man, one woman. I don't disrespect anybody that has the beliefs or choose to do whatever they do. That's not me to judge those people. We all will be judged one of these days by a greater person than any one of us could ever be. But I respect everybody. I respect them. I'm not afraid to shake their hand. I'm not afraid to sit down and talk to them. It's up to each individual. The only thing that I know, and I don't try to push religion off on nobody, but I know one day we'll all answer for our actions in this life. And, so right now, I do know this, as of right now, the law here on the reservation states that marriage is between one man and one woman. So that's all that I can go by. I'm not here to judge anybody. So thank you.
Let's alternate. We'll get the same question for both of us. What are your expectations to the opening of the new casino? Is it expected to add to or take away from per capita?
Based on the analysis that was done by TCGE and by Harris Company, one of the reasons that the tribe decided to go down that road and open up another casino was based on the information and analysis that they did. During that time, it was reported to the tribe that Harris owns they own a database, and that database showed that there was almost 1.5 to 2 million people that had those Harris cards that they played. Well, that card showed Harris that many people hasn't even been to Harris Charity. So in knowing that, that's one of the reasons that the tribe pursued that down there. At that point in time, I voted against that casino down there because I didn't agree the way that things took place during the process. But moving forward, it's there. It's something I feel like the tribe has accepted down there, even though there wasn't a referendum and all that stuff done. But at this point in time, I think that it's going to add to per capita. I know Rick said earlier that they'd like to not pay out per capita. Well, that belongs to you all. I think you as the people have spoke loud and clear that anything that comes out of there, you want your 50% of it to go into per capita. So in knowing that, I'll look for the per capita to rise and do good for the tribe. We're going to take 50% just like we do for the big casino and put it in per capita. There's nothing going to be held out of that 50% until it's given to the tribe. So it's going to help not only individuals with their per capita, but also we think about the different tribal programs that we can do to support that. So, from the other part of it. But the way that it's set up right now, I think it's set up to where we'll have it paid for within 5 years from when we open. So definitely think it's a great opportunity. Thank you.
What are your expectations to the opening of the new casino? Is it expected to add to or take away from per capita?
Well, when the TCG came within the communities to give their reports prior to the approval of Cherokee County Casino, they gave us 3 options. Number 1, we cannot have any distribution payouts, and we can hold it, and we can pay off the debt of Cherokee County within 3 years that way. Or we could give out distribution just for tribal programs only, and then the per cap payments would go towards paying that off. Or we can do like we're doing now. 50% goes to tribal programs, 50% goes to per capita. Unfortunately, the people never got to vote, or we never did get to hear what was the outcome of those 3 things. So right now, as you pose that question, I really can't answer that until, as principal chief, I can go and see where TCG is on that concept. What are we going to do? No one has told us. Are we going to pay it all back? What would you like to do? Would you feel that we, to close down that debt, not have any distribution, and pay it off within 3 years? Do you feel that we should go ahead and give half of the distribution for tribal programs and then let the other, pay it off? Or do you feel that we should be doing what we're doing right now, and that's 50% to the tribe programs, 50% to the distributions? So, looking at Cherokee County right now, I'm concerned about the relationship that we have with the Cherokee County commissioners as well as the citizens down in Cherokee County. As I feel right now, they're not very proud of us right now. And I heard that when I was in Snowbird. Brandon reported that Cherokee County commissioners had passed legislation and ordinance to not sell any more land until they were a recognized tribe. Have a problem with that. That's our Aboriginal home. But until I can become principal chief and get to the bottom of the issues of Cherokee County, then and only then can I allow you as the people to decide what it is we need to do. Because again, we weren't given the right to say whether we wanted Cherokee County or not. We weren't given the right to say anything. It just says, here you go. So we do have it now. But we as a people are going to have to start coming together in a conscious way as being an enrolled member of this tribe. Look at your children. Look at what the per capita distributions have been doing to our children already. How are we going to look at? These were some of the things that we brought up prior to, and I believe Larry submitted a couple of resolutions as well as I did before the first casino was open, asking to give the people the right to a referendum vote. We didn't get it then. And then it was the snowball effect of problems. I hope we learned from this casino. I hope that we as a people see exactly what is going to happen in Cherokee County. That was what was said down in Snowbird. Look at Cherokee County now. And then look at Cherokee County 10 years from now. Look at us. Since 1997, in the opening doors of the casino, look what has happened to our tribe. So, what I hope is that as your principal chief, my first order of business is to come to the Grand Council of the People, because this is an important issue to us. These are important issues to the future of our tribe. And we as a people have been kept out in the dark for too long. So as your principal chief, the only way that I can find out about what's going on in Cherokee County is when I'm there as your principal chief. And I will allow you to know this, when I'm your principal chief, you will know. Because I believe I've proven myself over the last 25 years that if there's information that you as an enrolled member need and should see, I will get it and I will let you see it. If any evidence out there, feel that there's any piece of information, legislation, document, I just went down to the top office today and got the whole stamp stuff. mostly on Cherokee County, mostly on alcohol law enforcement, mostly on all of these things that we have to look at. These folks are what hurts our people. But we want to use those to say, we're going to give you some extra money, we want to, and then look at what the extra money is. We've lost too many of our people to drug addiction and death. And marijuana? Really? If you really look at Colorado, they said as soon as marijuana was passed, the crime rate went down. Everything went down. People became happier. But then look at what we've got right here. From our hospital. Like I said, I'm a 7-year restaurant snow cancer product. Every time I come out of every surgery, they gave me high-end pain medication. I'm standing here today and thanking God that I didn't get hooked, because you know what? I can see how you can get hooked on those pills. I can see. But I had 3 children to raise by myself. I had to decide what it was that I needed to do that was most important. My pain in my body, or getting up and providing for my children. And that's what we see today. I got a text this morning from a young lady, 24 years old, 2 children, this close from being evicted, calling me, and I said, "Honey, I can only send you to these places. I can only ask you to call them. Do you know that they could not get any assistance because of technicalities? Why is that? Because state regulations, federal regulations, as long as we're receiving those dollars, we have to abide by those rules." So as your principal chief, and talking about the Cherokee County, the money that's increased into our tribal programs and our tribal side of the distribution will go to enhancing our health and human services and our behavioral health. Folks, we're getting ready to open up a rehab center down there. This is what I hope Cherokee County Casino brings. That we can hire counselors, frontline workers. We need social workers. We need foster homes. We need a whole bunch of stuff. So the money that we can come from health and human services can go there. Social services. We have a new children's home. Folks, we need resident counselors. We need frontline workers. We need guardian ad litems. We need a whole bunch of help with just those 2 issues of addiction and social services. A lot of our kids are being adopted out. A lot of our kids are being taken. And there's no sense in that. So one of the things that I would like to do with that Cherokee County casino money is just that. Start fueling those monies to the programs. If you looked at the comparison budget of the Cherokee Police Department, it hasn't changed since 2009. But we want to holler at our Cherokee Police Department for not doing a good job. How can you when that budget hasn't increased in over 6 years? The crime has increased, the population has increased, but our Cherokee Police Department hasn't. So one of the things that I hope as your principal chief use some of that casino money to shore up, because it was reported in council that they need about 75 more officers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One final question for each of you, the same question. What makes you the better candidate without being negative?
I'm not going to say nothing negative about anybody, first of all, but I spent 8.5 years in the military. I've got a 2-year business degree from Montreal. I've also got about 16 years working straight for the tribe, over 20 years working with my tribal council term in different capacities there. I feel like that I'm the best candidate for this position for the principal chief job, and I look forward to moving our tribe forward. There's no room for backing up with our tribe. I think each one of these candidates would be the first one to tell you that moving forward and looking ahead to the next 7 generations, making sure that these young kids are taken care of, the elders are taken care of. But the experience that comes along with me from what I've got with the years of service with the tribe, and I feel like that I'm the candidate, that's here for you all and for the people. I've built those relationships with people on the state level, on the federal level. I've been to the governor's office. I've been to the congressmen, senators in Washington, D.C. to fought for your rights as individuals of this tribe and of our nation to change federal law to help protect each and every one of us. I've done that. I've been there. I can take you up there today and personally introduce you to those congressmen, senators, to the governor. I sat down at a table and talked to them about the issues that are facing the tribe every day. That's one of the things, the experience that I have, and look forward to serving each and every one of you as your personal chief. Thank you.
I even know better than the two candidates that are running for principal chief. I know better than any of you sitting in here. All I know is a road member who decided to exercise my right to participate in government. The law says that to run for principal chief, I have to be 35 and enroll member and live on the Guam boundary for 90 days. Woo! I qualify. The original law said that you had to be half Cherokee. Woo! I qualify. Over the last 25 years, I have been on this side of government. In 2003, I exercised my right to participate as a council representative candidate and protested. And one of my protests was something happened. And that's okay. Because I'm standing here today in 2011, I ran for principal chief and Creator God had other plans for me. So I'm here today. In 2015, I'm standing before you guys, getting posed the question of what makes me a better candidate. I'm not better than anybody. But all I know is that in the last 25 years, I have stood in front of that tribal council, and I've stood in front of those chiefs, and I'm advocating for the rights of my people. A couple of times I've been thrown out. A couple of times I was asked to leave. But more than anything else, I always went back. Because I had a grandfather who sat on that council. I had a grandmother who wasn't even an enrolled member of this tribe, and her name was Yellowhill. She was the tribal clerk for almost 25 years. But she served this tribe in Natty, Maxwell, Chacha, because she loved the Cherokee people. And I love my Cherokee people. And to sit here and to ask you guys for a vote, I'm not. I'm going to ask you to vote for yourself. I can't ask you to trust me. You have to earn that trust. I ask you to trust yourself. Trust yourself when you go to the polls and look at it, where we've been, where we're at, and where we might be going. And out of the candidates that you see, pray for each one of us. And make sure that your determination and whatever you do to go and vote, go and vote. And I pray that you encourage everyone. We've had over 50% of our registered voters that have failed to come out and vote in the last decade. That's who I'm going for. Patrick has his supporters. Timmy has their supporters. But I know there's 50% of our enrolled members out there who are registered voters and for some reason will not come out and vote. I know that reason. You know that reason. And I'm standing here today as an enrolled member of this tribe, daughter of Lewin Scarcrow, mother of 3 children, just to say hey. I leave it up to Eastern Band Chief and Creator God if I'm the next principal chief in Central Missouri. Thank you. I love you guys. Y'all have a good evening.